Hi, this is Chris with EverydayVBA. In this video, we're going to be doing in this Macro Monday, we're actually going to be doing a last saved by. And this is a triggered by an event, and the event is save. We want to run some code right before it saves. So that is what we are going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our VBA editor. You can just hit Alt F11 to do that. And this, we're actually going to go into the workbook because this is actually a workbook event. We're going to click on workbook. The easiest way to figure these out is just to come in here and say, well, which one do I want to use? Now, we're going to do before save. All right, so what it's going to do is it's going to run some code before it actually saves the workbook. So here's what we're going to do. First thing we need to do is we need to identify what the end row is. There's lots of different ways to do this to figure out what the last row is. I typically use CurrentRegion. It's just a habit that I've gotten into. You can use XL down, XL up. You can use row count. There's tons of ways to do it. I'm just going to do this the way that I normally do it, and so that is going to be. We're going to do range RWS. We're going to make a variable called rows, or RWS, is equal to do range, and that's going to be b9.currentRegion.Rows. And that should give me the number of rows in that current region. So now my end row, ERW, is equal to, we're going to go 9 plus, I got num blocks was off, 9 plus RWS. Now let's just see if we got that, F8. Fine. It doesn't like that because it's a private sub and it's only going to run this before save. So we're going to come down here to my immediate window. This is actually why the immediate window is awesome. Type mismatch, huh? Range B9 current region rows.count. Well, you got to make sure that you do the code right. So what happened there is it was like, good, you got your rows here, but what are we going to do? So that's what caused that error. We've got 1, and then we're going to do, okay, so that one should be fine. So that's going to give us 10 because we've got 9 rows right here, or 9 rows plus 1, and it gets us there. And as we add different row counts, that's going to increase that number. It's still going to be 9 plus whatever the rows are. Now what we need to do is we need to go, this is going to be cell, we're going to do this, make this strict. So we're going to go sheet 1, which is the code name, cells ERW, comma 2 is equal to Application.UserName. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy this, and all we're going to do is we're going to add a timestamp. And we got to change this to 3. And then this is going to equal now. And now, all we need to do is see if this works. So, I'm going to go File. We're going to save as. We're going to do this as a we'll save it there. This is going to be last saved by, and I'm probably going to edit this out. So now I've got this saved, and if I click save, it's going to add a timestamp in there. Now you'll notice that it's the same minute, but that's really how that works. So what happens is when you click save, you have an event that triggers, and that event triggers the event code, which in this case is workbook before save, and it goes and it makes that save and saves that workbook and adds that timestamp just like we asked. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure that you're subscribing to the EverydayVBA channel. If you do have comments or you have requests for events, leave them as comments on this workbook. Hope you enjoyed.